Hi guys and welcome to my 16th tutorial on Java, and in this tutorial I will talk more about classes. I will show you how to override your methods, but also I will show you how to inherit stuff from the classes. So those two things will be in this tutorial. First I'm going to show you how to do the overriding, how to override your methods, because it's very simple and easy and fast, so it won't take much time. Inheritance will come later on. So I will just use the public class for this matter. Now, what does it mean to override the method? When you have a method, for example, print method. When you have a method, you simply add no arguments or add some kind of arguments. But what if you want to have two the same methods, two the same names? So, for example, two print methods. Now you cannot do this normally, but if you use different arguments in both, then you can actually do this, and this will override. This is how you override your methods. So, for example, I have public, let's say void, and print, and inside I will place any code. I will just show you. As you can see, I have print with no arguments. And now, if I just paste it like this, you will see that it doesn't work. I cannot have it like this. But if I add an argument here, you will notice that I actually can have it like this. So I have two functions which are of the same name, but they have different arguments. Now I can have int and string, for example, and string int. It probably will work, but you cannot have two the same functions as with the same arguments and the same names. So that won't work. But you can have two the same names with different arguments, and you can have many more of them, and that's how you pretty much override your function, your method. Now if you want to use it, I don't have any code and I won't place it because you can pretty much do anything that you would do normally with the function, but you can use it here normally using print bracket and nothing inside the bracket, or print bracket and integer inside the bracket, or you can create an object. I can create the object of the class I have already. I don't have a constructor, so the object probably won't work correctly, but I can actually access the things in the class. So as you can see, I have print methods and another print method of the classes too, which is the public class. Those are the two methods I get from the public class. Now this one will be if you choose this one, you don't have to pass any arguments. If you choose this one, again you will have to pass an integer argument, which is a number basically. So depending on whichever you choose, you will have to provide a certain information. Now it's not valid because I didn't have the constructor. Nevertheless, that's pretty much how you override. You can have more of these as well. For example, you can have 3 or 4 even of these. And again, as you can see, I cannot have two the same arguments. But for example, I can do something like this. So again, I have now 2 arguments. Now you can have 2 arguments again. You don't have to increase the number all the time. You can just change, for example, if you want this for the string, this can be a string, for example. So it can be again 2 arguments, but those arguments has to be different than the previous one or any other one. It's simply it has to be unique basically. The order I think it matters as well. So if I say string here, for example, as you can see, I can do it. Those two have the same arguments basically, but the order is different. So as you can see, I have 2 functions which are purely the same, but the order of those arguments are different. Even if I name them y here and I here, or y, yeah, I mean I, yeah, it's correct. It will actually change it. Nothing would change, and you will be still able to use it. So that's pretty much how you override your functions, methods. So let's leave this now. So this is how you override. Now the inheritance is something different. Inheritance is something that you inherit from the class. So if you think about this normally, you have a mother or you have a parents. So the parent is basically like a main class. Then the child class will be a son, a daughter, stuff like this. So this is a parent, child or class, or daughter class or son class, something like this. So you can relate. And you simply have one main class, then you have subclasses which inherit stuff from that class. You have to connect them, stuff like this. But pretty much you can connect those two classes and use the elements from those classes. So I will create two classes today for this purpose. I'll have class, let's say, transport. I'll have class transport, and inside let's have two variables, let's say, private. Let's have int as miles, and let's have private string as destination. Okay, so pretty simple thing. Now inside you can have something like this, public. You have to actually have a public, which is the constructor public transport, with nothing inside. You just simply open and close it. You have to have it for the inheritance to work, and you can add some kind of, I don't know, output statement or whatever you want. You can add functions. I will do it later on. But I will add a output statement, the print statement. So public void function print. Okay, the print function, and I will system out print line, and I will print mouse and plus what was it? Yeah, destination. Destination plus destination. Okay, something like this. It's a pretty simple thing. Simple output statement. Now this is my class transport. Now if you think about the transport consists of many different type of transports. You can have a car, you can have a plane, you can have a train, a bicycle, bike, whatever it is. So there's many of them. So you can say that transport class is a main class of transportation. So it's main. That's why you have, for example, miles and destination in it. But then if you, for example, want a specific class, which is the transport itself, you can actually create a class for car or for bike or for whatever you want. So let's, for example, do the class for bike. So bike. Now, if you want this class to inherit the stuff from the mother class, from the transport, you have to extend it. And you write extends, and then the name of that class you want to extend it to. So extends transport. Like this. It's a pretty simple thing. One keyword, you have to just simply extend transport. And you will be able to actually use public things from this class in this class, because you will inherit stuff from it. So now, if I want to use stuff from it, I can, of course, and I also will show you some, I will just follow the thing. So let us have, again, the variables, like, I don't know, private, string, let's have string. Let's do the make, so the make of the bike, and the color, for example. Okay, so the make and the color of the bike. Now, what you can do, you can assign, you can create, for example, the constructor, so that you can get the details. So I'll create the constructor. It's public, what was it? Bike, and then inside the bracket you have arguments, because you have, I will actually use 4 arguments, as you will see later on why, and I will just show you now. So I will have, first one is, what was it, int, mouse, and then string. What was the destination? Destination, I will just make it short, string again. Make, and string again with color. Okay. So I have 4 arguments. Now those 2, as you can see, the first 2 are from the previous class. Those will be used for the as you can see, I have my constructor here, but those actually from this class, I will actually take those values in and pass them onto this class, onto the transport class, so that I will get mouse and destination from my bike class, not from my transport class. So when I create the object, I will create object of this class, not this class. This class will be just there for reference, for this to output and stuff like this, for these 2 variables. So you will see how this happens later on. Now inside I can assign stuff, and so if you have the same names, for example, like make and make here, it wouldn't make sense to just say make equals make. So what you can do is use the object of this class, which will reference this object, with the keyword this, and then use the make or color. So it will make sure that this corresponds to this. And again, if I use color, then this will correspond to this, not this or this. So I can just now equal to make. That is if you have the same names. If you don't have the same names, you don't really have to use it. It will still work. But if you have the same names, and if you want to have the same names just to make it, faster and clearer for you, you can use this method to specify the string, the variables in your class, and those normal, which is equal to make or whatever, will be the value passed from the object. So pretty simple thing. Again, this dot color is equal color. Now if I want to assign these 2, actually I will have to create a function in my transport class. Now this function, well, I will have to create 2 functions actually. So public void, and it has to be, it can be probably protected, because it will allow the inherited classes, I think, to access it, but it's better to do the public. You won't have errors with it. So you can have, you will have 2 functions in here. You will have 2 functions, which is public void set, for example, was mouse, set mouse, and I will take in 1 argument, which is int was it mouse. This is 1 function I will need, and this time again this dot mouse I will use, so that because I have the same name, and assign it to mouse. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. And again, I have to do the same function for the other one, so that I can pass those this information from this class to the class which is the parent class, because I will use the method. I will use this method because they're public, so I can use them in this class as well, and I will use them and pass those details to those functions here. So again, public void and set destination, string and destination. Okay, so very simple thing. It's just that it creates a link between those 2 classes, and remember you can use this dot keyword, which will basically allow you to distinguish between the same names. Now you will know that this means this variable. This dot destination will correspond to this variable, and when you use a normal name like destination, it will correspond to the value you passed. So it's very simple to distinguish that. Okay, so very simple thing. Now in this class, in the public, I can add the methods. So basically call them, set miles, inside the bracket I have to pass the argument. I don't think I no, I added actually, yeah, that's correct. And I pass miles, and again set destination, and I pass the destination. Very simple thing. So I simply pass those details onto my functions which are in this class, and those information which I passed will be saved into those variables. So very simple thing. It's like a connection link to from this class to the other class, and also the information flow is like this. So it's very simple. Now I can also do something like this. I will show you another method you can use while doing the extend class, basically inheritance. You can use the same method like print, public void print, but then if you want to include, because as you can see I have just miles and destination here, and I don't have it anywhere called here, and I could use it, I could access it with this object, but instead of accessing it, I want to access just this one, print, and I want to print whatever is in here, but also this. Now I don't have to copy it. What I have to do is create reference to it. I have to use a certain method which will allow me to take the information from that function, print it, for example, and then print whatever I want in this function. So what you do is use supper, like this, supper, that, and then you use the print from the transport. As you can see, those are its original, like, I don't know, let's say original, well, origins basically. So where it comes from. So as you can see, set destination, string destination is origins are in transport. The same is with the print. As you can see, it's transport. I have this print, I have this method in my bike, but actually I can use the one from the transport. So if I do this, and then I add one more statement, for example, I would just copy this one and change it to whatever I want to output again. So print, I will just print, and I'll add these two only, make in color, so make, and I will just add a make here, plus what was it, color, and this one also changes to color. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not using the same thing. I'm not printing two things twice. I'm just using supper, that method, which will basically take the thing, take the function from my mother class and do whatever is in this function. So we will call it, it's a call statement. We will call it, do whatever it is in here. Sorry about that. And return to this also to print it out. So very simple thing. And again, now in my public class, in my main, I can now create, for example, the object. But I won't create the object of the transport class. Transport class is the main class. I will create the object of the bike class. So what I do is bike, and I will use, for example, obj is equal to new bike, and in the bracket I have to specify 4 arguments. So first one is miles, let's say 10. The other one is string, which is destination, so for example London, let's say. Then we have again the string, which is make, so for example I ride a bike, which is Aprilia. And for example the color, let's say black. Okay, so this is the object we have. Now if I use obj dot print, as you can see, the method belongs to the bike, not the transport. If I use this and I just now run it for you, you will see miles 10, destination London, make Aprilia, color black. So you have all those information displayed. As you can see, I used a supper. A supper is very useful if you want to call a function from a mother class. So you call a function from the mother class, then you simply output whatever you want in this class. And as you can see also, I didn't create the object of my mother class. This one is simply for reference. It will set the destination, the mouse, set the print statement, but it will do nothing else. I'm not creating this object of this class. I simply create object of this class and use references. I use two variables I have provided in this class, but I also use methods that are public and I can access because of extended transport, because I extend, so it's inherited, and I can actually use those methods which are in my parent class. And I can also output, I can use supper to access the methods, such as this one, and do whatever is in the method, and then print out whatever I want in my own class, or whatever you want. So that's pretty much how the inheritance works. You can inherit many stuff, many things. You can access many things. As you can see, I don't have normal access to the private variables. I cannot access them through this class. But what I can do is I can use functions to actually reach them, and in this function I will assign values I've passed from my bike function to the transport. So there's many ways you can actually use it in real-time situations and stuff like this. So you have to actually think about this yourself and find some kind of implication as to this. But you can have more classes as well. I showed you just an example, but you can also extend the transport class to many more transport types. So there's one bike, and you can also have a car or whatever a user may choose, for example, which he wants to use or stuff like this. So it will depend on what type of information you want to input to the class, what type of information you're interested in, and stuff like this. Anyway, this is pretty much the end of this tutorial. I showed you how to create a it's extended, but it's inheritance, how to do the inheritance, how to override your methods. And my next tutorial will be probably about polymorphism on friendship or something that is interfaces maybe. I will see, because I will see. I don't know yet. Whichever comes first, I don't know. But it will be interesting, because those are classes. This is object-oriented programming, so it's very, very crucial in today's world. And I think it's very good to actually know this. Anyway, this is the end of this tutorial. If you like my videos, subscribe on the channel, on my videos, like them, share them if you want to, and visit my webpage as well. There's loads of tutorials on my webpage, both written, you have documents there which maybe explain a bit more stuff than I do in the videos. You also have different videos, which I provide the links to the YouTube. You have loads of them, as 80 or 90 videos already, so there will be more. So I encourage you to actually visit those web pages and have a look. I will see you in my next tutorial, and bye.